Hey folks, welcome to the Fox 5 Live Zone. Hey, it's Hump Day, Wednesday. Yes, halfway through the week. I'm your host, Guy Lambert. Thank you so much for joining us. Coming up on the show today, the surge on crime continues in D.C. Now a reward is being offered for arrests, and it comes with a tip. We'll break it all down for you. According to President Trump, Smithsonians are too woke. Now some are crying foul and saying, that's a joke. And the real MVP, none other than, yes, Kevin Durant's mom, Wanda Durant. She's going to join us right here on the Live Zone as she's all things about going back to school. All that and more coming up on the show. But first, how about we talk weather, shall we? Tucker Barnes joining us as he always does right here on the Live Zone.
Good afternoon. You got a big show going on today, don't you?
There's a lot going on.
Looking very sharp there today.
Oh, thank you. Yeah. Like my little felt thing going on, the pocket square?
No, that's...
Thank you very much.
Hang on, let me adjust mine. Okay, we're ready to go. Should we do weather together?
Let's do it.
All right, here's the deal. Another cloudy day, another cloudy start, more drizzle, more dreariness. Yesterday, we only hit 73 degrees, Guy. That was our coolest daytime high for that date, all the way back to 1957, I think.
Wow.
Isn't that amazing?
That's beyond amazing.
Yeah.
Sheesh, okay.
68 years ago was the last time we had such a cool August afternoon for the date. Okay, today, the only reason I mentioned that is today we're actually going to warm it up. I know it doesn't, you're looking at that and you're going, okay, forget it. It looks like we'll get some breaks in the clouds by late afternoon. So we'll trend towards a little sunshine here and reach the low 80s later today with a couple of showers moving in late this afternoon tonight. See, if you look out in western Maryland, see the shower activity? Cold front, okay? I want you to remember that. Clouds parked across the area, okay? I want you to remember that.
Okay.
All right, because just off to our south, we have a little hurricane called Aaron.
Ooh.
Okay, see it at the bottom of your screen, the very outer canopy?
I do see that.
Okay. If it wasn't for that cold front, that hurricane might try to make landfall in New England. That cold front's going to help push it out to sea.
Oh, that's good news. Okay.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
See all the players there? Meanwhile, we're stuck in the middle, and we will probably, before the hurricane arrives later tonight and tomorrow, and again, we're not going to get a direct landfall or direct impact, but we are going to get some of the clouds with the hurricane. Before that happens, we should get some breaks in the clouds later this afternoon, and again, in the low to mid 80s. All right, your latest with Aaron, 100-mile-per-hour winds. Actually looking a little healthier in the satellite signature during the midday hours, and it has been slowly re-intensifying. So perhaps this will increase its wind speed a little bit. The track still takes it off to the north, and then whoop, thanks to that cold front, it gets pushed out to sea. And that is great news. We're any closer, we'd be talking about some serious impacts. It will get close enough that we're going to have a lot of wind and waves out at our beaches, and by tomorrow, right around now, 24 hours from now, we're going to have winds gusting probably to about 50 miles an hour in places like Ocean City, Bethany, Rehoboth. Pretty good wave action, pretty good storm surge, rip currents. You know, I think they're planning on some beach erosion by Friday. So it will be, you know, a moderate event at our beaches. And even here locally tomorrow, we'll have some clouds associated with the hurricane, and probably get some winds gusting, maybe 25 to 30 along the bay and that kind of thing. So, you know, it is definitely a talker. We're going to have reporters out there tomorrow to cover what's happening at the beaches. Behind it, it will be beautiful. It will be splendicious. It will be all things fabulous Friday and Saturday.
Two things I absolutely love, though. Whoop and splendicious. Got to have more of that, Tucker.
I don't know if that's an actual word, but you can tip me anyways. It will get nice Friday and Saturday.
Good stuff. Absolutely love it. Tucker Barnes, all things weather, right here on the Live Zone. Guys, if you haven't already done so yet, make sure you download the Fox Local app. That way you can take that forecast with you on the go. And we begin with this hour's top story, President Trump's federal takeover of the district. He's moving forward on his crackdown on crime with a new call for help from residents. Meanwhile, the president also ramping up his criticism against Smithsonian museums. Joining us now to discuss this and so much more is Mackenzie Joy Brennan, federal trial attorney and political strategist, back here on the Live Zone. Always good to see you, Mackenzie. Welcome back to the show.
It's great to see you. Thanks for having me.
All right, let's jump right into it. In this case, we're going to start with the most recent numbers surrounding the president's surge on crime right here in the nation's capital. According to Attorney General Pam Bondi, there have been more than, count them, 500 arrests. Now a $500 reward is being offered for those who provide a tip that leads to an arrest right here in D.C. Mackenzie, your take on the crime crackdown thus far?
Yeah, I mean, that report of 500 arrests, I think, begs the question, especially in light of a lot of news stories that we've seen, of whether they're justifiable arrests. And obviously this new tip effort is going to bring in potentially more of those questionable arrests. And the takeover itself is questionable. It's not dissimilar to what Trump tried to do with ICE in LA. It's not dissimilar from some of these new attacks that he's trying to levy against sanctuary cities. It's this like federal force takeover triggered by something very minor. I mean, it was this, maybe a Doge worker saw a carjacking, differing takes on that, but really a run-of-the-mill sort of incident. And overall, crime has been down. Obviously, that's not to discount anybody's individual experience, but this is not the place to be focusing federal takeover and new dollars, because of course, if we're giving $500 to every tip, that's federal money too.
Yeah. Mackenzie, I hate to interrupt, but DC Mayor Muriel Bowser addressing just that as you and I speak. Let's go ahead and take a look in.
Another question after that.
I don't really have an update to that investigation, but I will say that was an investigation initiated by the chief, and I'm not sure if it's concluded, but I'll ask the chief to talk about that.
So I'll start by saying that it was an investigation that was initiated by me, and I'll close by saying we have not yet completely finalized the investigation. As most of you know, we don't talk about open investigations until it's complete.
Okay, so the suspicion of, thank you, Mayor. The suspicion of manipulating numbers is not new. In 2018, Fox 5 also reported on similar accusation, going through several FOIA requests and a lot of data as well. My question to you is, what's the plan here? How do you show the federal government that you're on tap and on top of and able to respond to what's going on?
I think we can respond pretty simply. I'm not sure yet what questions we've gotten, so I'll just leave it as saying that we will cooperate and answer their questions. You were next, I think. Yeah.
Any reaction to the Attorney General tweeted out this morning that the U.S. Marshal Service is now offering $500 to anyone who gives information that leads to an arrest in the district? Do you have any reaction to that?
I don't have a reaction. We have a rewards program here for information that leads to prosecutions in certain crimes, and we have a very active program, and that has worked.
Do you think that they're putting resources in the right places in the city?
I think that is something that we evaluate daily. Yep.
Arthur Jones, the second with ABC News. Do you worry about students' attendance on Monday with the president's federal takeover? And also, is
let me stop you there. There has been no takeover.
The president's surge and crackdown.
Okay, so with the federal surge in the city, part of what we just talked to educators about, we're in a campus on this hill where 3 schools attend, so we had, probably a little over 100 teachers represented today. And what I want to be clear to all of them about is our children deserve and will get a joyful start to their school year. So all the adults in our building, all of the people in our government are focused on making sure that happens. I'm also asking DC residents, whether they have kids in school or not. This is a tradition that we have for many years, but I think it would be great if DC residents line corridors and clap. We call it clap the kids into school. So tell them that we're with them. We want them to have a great school year, and we're all going to be standing shoulder to shoulder with them.
Has Metropolitan Police Department worked with the federal agencies, any communication there to help kids get to school and high crime areas?
We don't need federal agencies to help get kids to school. So we have many programs, including a Kids Ride Free program where all of our children have a free pass to ride free back and forth to school in their school activities. We have a program called Safe Passage where we have non-law enforcement officials that line various school routes. They will all have on a jacket that identifies them as part of DC government, one of our violence interruption programs. We have another program called School Connect, where families can let us know if there are particular circumstances that they're concerned about with their neighborhood, where they can get a ride to school. So we will take care of getting our kids to school. Yeah, I'm not going to come back to you right now because other questions are out there. Yeah.
Mayor, but follow up, I mean, there are checkpoints happening across the city with the federal partners. There's also people that are getting stopped 24/7 with immigration enforcement. I think it's just a follow-up of how do you address those concerns that a parent who is dropping their kid off might be detained by immigration officials?
I think people who have that concern for themselves personally and for all of us who are concerned for them and their safety are making adjustments. Yep.
Madam Mayor and administration, I have 3 questions. First question, what latitude do teachers have to explore the political, social, and historic context of the situation in the classroom? Second question, what safeguards are in place to prevent an overzealous response to physical altercations on school grounds, you know, given what we see currently with the federal infringement? And finally, we're going to take it to Ward 4. How is MPD preventing Officer Sutton and Lieutenant Zabaski and others who have been penalized in the past from repeating what they have done in terms of just their negative interactions with residents?
Okay, your first question, I'm sorry.
My first question is in regards to teachers. So what latitude do they have to explore?
So one thing I just emphasized to teachers that there's only one person in DC government authorized to do politics, and that's me. And teaching, however, they have the same latitude to instruct as they always have.
But as far as the curriculum, can someone speak to that?
There's no change to their curriculum.
But what is in place for them to talk about this in the current context, you know, historically?
Let me ask the Chancellor how the public schools approach. Okay.
Yeah, thank you, Sam, for that question. So no changes to our curriculum, the same expectations that we've had previously. We have actually a new curriculum for math this year for our elementary age students. Teachers do incorporate current events in some courses. They still have the latitude to do that, but we expect teachers to adhere to our curriculum as written.
And as far as the physical altercations on campus, I've done reporting in the past. Students have complained about altercations on this campus. We wrote about BARD as well. What guarantee, or I guess what safeguards are in place to prevent an overzealous response from local forces as well as federal in response to students fighting on campus?
Yeah, so our staff is trained to intervene if there are any altercations on campus. We don't expect that. The educators, school administrators have been working hard over the summer to create an environment that is welcoming. And we equip students with tools to deal with issues as they come up. We've had a big emphasis on, for example, restorative justice strategies that have been proven to be effective. And if you look at violent acts among students in schools, and DCPS specifically, we've seen a decline in those events that are happening on our campuses. So we anticipate the response from administrators will be the same, and they'll be prepared for day 1 on Monday.
And in regards to the 2 officers that were pardoned, just very curious about their status, very curious, and this is my final question, of course, but for the time being.
So at their status, one is no longer a member of the Metropolitan Police Department, and as I've stated before, the other member of our police department is in a right now he's going through the appropriate training.
So which one's no longer a member, if you don't mind?
The lieutenant.
The lieutenant, thank
Yep.
you.
Thank you. I have a few questions. I'll try to get through them efficiently. First, for you, Mayor Bowser, and for you, Chief Smith, you were at 7D last night with Terry Cole and with Stephen Miller. What did you all discuss amongst each other and also with the officers there at 7D?
Well, I will say, and I won't be very specific about our discussion with the officers, but we did a lot of listening about concerns that they have about policing and making sure that they have the tools that they need to do their job. We listened to concerns that they have about the areas that they're policing and other feedback. And we listened to them about other ways that I can support them as their big boss. And I think the chief would say similar. With regard to a short pull aside that we had with the federal officials, I would just say that we discussed shared priorities.
Just a couple more on immigration enforcement and the police department. We're hearing a bit that officers are looking for more guidance on how to be interacting with or in the same space when they are with ICE. And I want to bring up a specific example so we can to be specific here. I think one of the concerns we're hearing is that perhaps, right, routine moped enforcement that MPD has been focused on, right, like unregistered mopeds, things like that. Normally, before this federal surge and ICE agents accompanying MPD officers in certain spaces, that would have been that traffic violation or whatever it was, and then immigration enforcement would not be part of MPD officers doing that job. Now, how do you respond to the concern that those kinds of stops could be a pretext then for immigration enforcement and any officers' concerns about sort of how to behave and how to do that enforcement if they feel uncomfortable that it's inviting ICE?
I think that we are exploring any additional guidance that our officers need. We do know that the question was posed to the courts that hasn't ruled on that claim, and we continue to look for any final legal statement. We do know that the presidential executive order and subsequent orders address these issues. And we will always have resource constraints with MPD, and we want to make sure that our enforcement is focused on violence and violent offenders.
One follow-up there. Mayor Bowser, we've reported that you weren't aware of Chief Smith's executive order last week adjusting some of the guidance on immigration enforcement. What was your reaction when you saw that guidance? And Chief Smith, can you give some insight into what led you to issue that new order? What led to your decision to do that?
Sure, I'll turn to the chief in a moment. And it's not unusual that the chief has the authority to amend orders that she thinks are necessary. And I think her guidance from her legal department was that she was trying to give some more direction to the officers. So I think that's what led to it. But I think the bottom line for me is that what is governing here is likely the presidential executive order. Okay. Yep. Okay. Yep.
For the chief, the city went to court last week to make sure that you stay in control of the police department. I'm curious about your federal partners. Do you have any coordination with them at this point, as into moving resources from the FBI, from any of those federal partners that are in the city right now, and the surge that's come in? Do you have any control over where they're going, or are you only directing resources of MPD at this point?
Thank you. Paul, thank you for that question. So I think I want to, if you don't mind, allow me to take a step back. The federal partners came in on Thursday before last. I met with them this Sunday just to talk about a strategy and a way where we can make sure that resources are placed around our city. Number one, because we look at our data and our intelligence, and it drives where we see violent crime happening across our city. But we also have heard from many of you here in this room, as well as community members, about different patterns of crime in certain areas. And so what we wanted to do was to be collaborative in this approach, because it was an executive order. And so we have met with our federal partners. We've given them different areas across the city where we would like to see resources allocated. And to date, I will tell you, it's been a cohesive process. We speak every single day. I mean, things do happen in our city. Let's not be kind of oblivious to the fact that things do not happen. They do. But I have a responsibility to make sure that even if we didn't have a federal surge, that I have resources placed around the city. And again, my role right now is to ensure that I continue to drive down crime. We have the resources here, and we're going to utilize them to the best of our ability.
If I could follow up with two other things. Terry Cole we've been told that he's, whatever his position is, are you in constant contact with him, and is he suggesting ways that you police the city?
My relationship with Terry Cole has been very, very congenial. It's been very collaborative. He has actually asked me about different ways in which we can collaborate and have resources around the city. It is not contentious at all. I met with him yesterday. I met with him the day before. So we look forward to working with our partners in this space during this federal surge.
And then the last question I had is on the investigation we're hearing that the U.S. Attorney's Office is going to conduct into crime stats. Have you been contacted by the DOJ, and are you aware of any subpoenas that have been issued?
I have not been contacted, but I am aware that there may be or will be subpoenas issued. I don't know to whom, but that's all I know at this point.
Chief Smith, just two quick questions. One, since the surge, thank you, are the federal law enforcement officers making arrests that are non-immigration, non-federal arrests?
Yes.
Yes. So not in the presence of the MPD?
I would assume yes.
They're making presence without MPD presence.
Mm-hmm.
And two, is the MPD making arrests in the last 2 weeks that they would not have otherwise been making had this new environment we're in this federal surge hadn't been happening? Have they been directed to make arrests that they otherwise would not have been making?
No, I don't know. I mean, our officers are very well versed on DC law and DC code. With respect to this surge, let me say this also. We work with our federal partners all the time. We have a capital area regional task force where we have marshals, ATF, DEA, MPD embedded in those spaces. Our violent crime suppression division, same thing. We have federal officers engaged in executing search warrants around our city on a regular basis. This isn't anything new. I think what the difference is that there's just an enhanced presence. So the same types of arrests, the same types of contact, the same types, Operation Rad Rights, the operations that we continue to do on a daily basis, the new initiatives that we launched when I first came in here, we just have an enhanced presence in that space. And again, our goal is to ensure that we drive down crime while our partners are here, and we will continue to do that.
Just keep them to like one question, not 5 questions.
Okay, can I get 2? I just had a quick, for the chief, I know we've been asking all week, and we're told that you had been talking to federal partners about the agents having masks on. Have you gotten any clarity or direction about what they can and can't do?
Well, what I'll say is this, I've spent 20-something years on the federal side, and the concern is, from some of our federal partners with the mask. I have not gotten clarity on it. Let me be clear about that. It's under DHS, if I'm not mistaken. But for certain type of backcountry, if you will, or different types of events or marijuana eradication, some of our federal partners do have the ability to kind of cover their faces. And it's really about making sure that there are no threats coming to them once they've cleared the area. And so in this particular case, I have no clear guidance on the why and the how come, but I can only put on my federal hat from back in the day to say that I think that's what's happening.
Lastly,
let me just add to that. We believe in our environment, an urban environment, that there's no reason for any official to wear a mask. We believe that it's not a law enforcement or just people that are in the umbrella of the Justice Department. You don't see them doing that. I think this is a good question for the Congress to prohibit law enforcement agencies that are going to be working in an urban environment from wearing masks.
And just lastly for the
okay.
chief, sorry, I know we've been seeing videos, sorry, I can't see you, chief. For example, last night, members in Columbia Heights kind of heckling and yelling for federal agents and ICE to leave the area. We've seen that in other spots. So I'm just wondering if you have any concerns about how this is going to affect community relations that MPD is building with its community members, all of this.
And so I've had conversations specifically with our federal partners with regards to that. We've come a long way in establishing positive relationships with our community. And what I want to be able to do is to ensure our community that we are working with our federal partners in that space. We do a lot of community engagement with our federal partners. This isn't new. So we want to try to see how we can enhance that and build upon that. What we don't want is for community members to interfere and get involved in things that is a police-related matter.
This is thank you, Mayor. Josh Chapin from Channel 7. You'd said the other day.
All right, yet again, D.C. Mayor Muriel Bowser and Top Cop Pamela Smith addressing the surge, the federal surge at that in the nation's capital. We're now taking you to Union Station, where Vice President J.D. Vance, Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth, and Defense Department General Counsel Earl Matthews visit National Guards. Let's see if they speak to reporters.
Press this way. Follow me.
And again, that is Vice President J.D. Vance along with the Defense Secretary walking into Union Station. You could clearly hear in the background several protesters expressing, well, let's say, voicing their opinions, if you will, with regard to what they feel about the federal surge. The gentlemen are flanked by a number of other officials as they take a look at some of the National Guard troops that are now arriving at Union Station. Let's go ahead and take a look in one more time to see if yet again they are addressing the media. All right, so it appears they were whisked away. We'll keep a close eye on that yet again at Union Station. Taking you now back to D.C. Mayor Muriel Bowser and Top Cop Pamela Smith as they address the federal surge here in the nation's capital.
About our preparation for our kids, and we feel strongly that we're very prepared.
And if we can ask to, if the chief or if the mayor, the White House is saying there have been more than 400 arrests since the surge here. Do we know what percentage are MPD, and do we know how many of those MPD arrests have to do with immigration enforcement?
So, you know, we've been talking about this quite a lot because we have ways that we introduce MPD data on weekly or monthly basis. And I think we're likely to stick with the way that we have been reporting. And I can't tell you exactly what they report or how they report or coordinate their number. I don't think we're going to do that. I think we're going to stick to how we report data and get it out more frequently.
Has the federal presence helped MPD, or has it made things a little bit more challenging?
So it's twofold, right? I hear from the officers on the street. Some of them have found it to be very helpful. Some people in community have found it to be very helpful. I think that the intent, what people have to understand is that with an additional 500 more officers, you're going to have more arrests. You're going to have more traffic stops and those types of things. So we have to anticipate that because we have an influx of police presence.
If I can quick, a message from school leaders with back to school. What's your message to parents in light of everything happening?
Business as usual. We have prepared for this moment. We're ready to receive students. Our teachers, our educators, staff, school leaders have been working hard this week in our pre-service week. You saw that earlier today. The energy in the room was very positive. That's going to carry into the first day, how we welcome our students back to campuses. You heard from the mayor. We're asking the community to clap in our students on the first day. I think surrounding our students in this first day of school is a great strategy, hopefully throughout the week. But we want our students to know that the schoolhouse continues to be the safest place for our young people, and we'll continue to hold it high.
Whoever hasn't asked the question, okay, you got your question and you'll have the last.
Thank you, Mayor. Matt Brown, Associated Press. The fire department said this morning that a person had to be extricated from a vehicle after a crash with a military vehicle of some sort. First, who is responsible for this, and have you spoken with the administration about this situation?
I actually haven't gotten a readout on that collision yet, other than I know we had I believe one person transported for medical attention, so I can't really say more.
And then how has your relationship with the administration changed since the beginning of this federal crackdown, shall we say? Are you planning on being more conciliatory, more adversarial with President Trump and other federal officials?
My plan is to represent the district and to do what is, my plan is to represent the district and navigate us out of this emergency, the president's emergency. Yep.
Thank you, Mayor. Andrew Espitalia with News Station.
All right, yet again, we are going to now take you to Union Station, where Vice President J.D. Vance addressing National Guard troops that have arrived.
So, you guys bust your ass all day, we give you a hamburger. Not a fair trade, but we're grateful for everything you guys do. So, how long have you guys been working here at this area? Has it been the whole 9 days?
About 7.
It's been about 7. Okay. General, tell me what's going on here. What are you guys seeing? Okay. Yep. Well, a lot's changed in the past 7 days. It's actually kind of amazing. So you guys are doing a hell of a job. We're proud of you. We're grateful to you. And I just wanted to come by and say thanks and hang out with you. So let's say hello for a bit. And I think we'll talk to this board. But just want to shake some hands and say hey to guys. General, appreciate it. Thank you. Regan, how are we doing, man? How y'all doing? All right, thank you. I appreciate that. I'm honored. Yeah, of course. Yeah, come here. We'll take a photo right now. Where are you from? Oh, great. Okay, awesome. Take a photo here. We'll make sure you get a copy.
Yeah, we'll get a copy. All right, ready? 3, 2, 1. Got it.
All right, awesome. Yeah, thank you guys. Appreciate you. Hey guys, how you doing? Good to see you all. How's it going over the hill? Good. Busy summer? Busy summer? Yeah. Super fun. Okay. Good. Okay. Well, we appreciate you guys. Thanks for all your help. Yeah, good to see you all. Hey guys, how we doing? Good. Good to see you guys. Thank you. What's up, dude? Oh, I already said hello to you. Hey guys, how you doing? Appreciate you. Thank you guys. Yeah, so tell me, is it going a little better here? Okay. Have you seen the transformation last? He's going good. He's good. Okay. Yeah, I'm still on the beat, but I want my kids here. People screaming at you, people scaring the kids. It feels a lot better. Appreciate everything you guys do. Just trying to help you out a little bit. All right, thank you. God bless you. Thank you, man. Hi, man. Good to see you. How are you? Good, good. Good to meet you. Thank you. Thank you. Specialist, good to see you, man. Thank you. Nice to meet you. Good to meet you. So where are y'all from? South Carolina. Okay, so pretty much everybody from South Carolina. Okay, Charleston, Columbia. Okay, good. We appreciate you guys helping us out. Thank you. It means a lot. Specialist, how you doing? Sir, how we doing?
Great, great. How you doing?
I'm doing good, man. I can't complain. This is a lot more fun than I do most days. All right, appreciate it. Good to see you, man. Thanks for all your help. God bless them, and I appreciate it. Yeah, it means a lot. Thank you. Sorry to hang you. Appreciate what you're doing. Thank you very much. All right. So, what's our name here? Okay.
Whatever you want. Sorry. I just want to go. So what's the plan? We do the gaggle, right? Are we doing that up here or are we doing that later? Wherever you want to. Okay. All right. Let's follow Karen here. All right. Karen, you lead the way.
Back to where you were.
All right. Okay. All right.
Right there is good.
Right here? Photo right here? Is that what they said? So you can be up here. You can be up. Your audio can come up here. My audio shot? Okay. Camera, do you want me up on here or do you want me up? So we have a few reporters here. So, look guys, what we wanted to do here was a couple things. First of all, we want to come and say thank you to the National Guard's folks, to the cops, for actually keeping this place safe. If you look at what's happened in Washington, D.C. in just the past 9 days, we've seen a 35% reduction in violent crime. We've seen over a 50% reduction in robberies. We are seeing really substantial effects because these guys are busting their ass. So I want to come here, highlight what they're doing, say thank you in person, obviously pass out a few burgers, but most of all, just send a message to the American people. Look, we don't have to live like this. We do not have to allow our cities to be taken over by violence and by disorder and by chaos. You can actually do stuff. You can actually bring law and order to communities. You've just got to have the political willpower to do it. And I think you hear these guys outside here screaming at us. Of course, these are a bunch of crazy protesters. But I'll tell you, a couple of years ago when I brought my kids here, they were being screamed at by violent vagrants, and it was scaring the hell out of my kids. And one of the things that we've done already in Union Station in just 9 days is we've made it a place where people can walk around safely. They can bring their kids again. They can see this beautiful monument, the architecture. They can have a meal with their friends and their loved ones because, again, we brought some law and order back to Washington, D.C. So I want to thank Pete Hegseth and Stephen Miller. I want to thank all the people, the guardsmen here and the police officers who have worked very hard. And I know that we've traded now some violent, crazy people who are screaming at kids with a few crazy liberals who are screaming at the vice president. And I think that's a very worthwhile trade to make because we want our people to be able to enjoy our beautiful cities. And the last thing I'll say is to the American people, D.C. is already safer than it was 9 days ago, and we're going to make it safer still to come. This is your city. You should feel free to come and visit here, have a meal, see all these incredible monuments, and actually enjoy yourself. And that's what we're trying to make happen. And I think that if we set a standard in Washington, D.C., that political willpower can bring some common sense law and order back to these communities, then maybe some other communities and other cities will follow suit. So it's kind of crazy. You hear these guys outside, they appear to hate the idea that Americans can enjoy their communities, and they do the fact that D.C. a week ago had a higher murder rate than Trinidad and Tobago, which the United States State Department has said you shouldn't visit because it's unsafe. We ought to be able to enjoy great American cities. That's what we're trying to do in the Trump administration, and we want to thank all of our law enforcement and National Guardsmen for making it possible. We made a lot of progress in 9 days. We're going to make a whole lot more. I'll let Pete and Stephen Miller say something, and we'll take a few questions from the reporters. So, Mr. Secretary.
Thank you, Mr. Vice President. I'll just start by saying yes and amen to everything you said. The American people, the residents of D.C. deserve a safe and beautiful city. That's our mission. That's what every one of these captains, lieutenants, staff sergeants, sergeants, specialists, privates, they're here because they're patriots who serve the country and believe we deserve a beautiful, safe capital. And when I talk to all of them, Stephen, we've all had a chance to talk to them, they're proud of this mission. They're proud to be a part of making sure law and order is established here in the Capitol. We're resourcing them with everything they need, working with our law enforcement partners. So the National Guard, the Defense Department is proud to be standing with you and the President in ensuring we have a safe Capitol that is beautiful, that residents can come visit. And we're committed to this mission just like the one at the southern border and in Los Angeles. Our law enforcement officers deserve to be able to do their job safely, and American citizens, putting American citizens and our country first is something President Trump has emphasized from the beginning. So thank you to these troops. I know I always liked a good cheeseburger when I was in uniform, so hopefully we could deliver a few of those. It's an honor to be here with you, and also, Stephen, thanks for everything you're doing.
Thank you. And first of all, thank you to the Vice President for bringing us here today. Thank you, Secretary, for
your leadership, and most importantly, thank you to the men and women of the National Guard. I think here's the most important point. There are residents who lived in Washington, D.C. their entire lives. Their parents lived here, their grandparents lived here, and they have lived for generations in intolerable conditions of crime and decay. There are parts of the city, I moved to the city 20 years ago. There are places where I have seen graffiti that has been untouched for 2 decades. There are homeless encampments that have made it impossible for families to use public parks and public recreation for as long as I've lived here. There are hundreds of residents of this city who are shot in street violence every single year, making it one of the most violent cities on planet Earth. And for too long, 99% of this city has been terrorized by 1% of the city. And the voices that you hear out there, those crazy communists, they have no roots, they have no connections to the city, they have no families they are raising in this city, they have no one that they are sending to school in this city, they have no jobs in this city, they have no connections to this community at all. But they're the ones who've been advocating for the 1%, the criminals, the killers, the rapists, the drug dealers. And I'm glad they're here today. Because me, Pete, and the Vice President are all going to leave here, and inspired by them, we're going to add thousands more resources to this city to get the criminals and the gang members out of here. We're going to dismantle those networks, and we're going to prove that a city can serve for the law-abiding citizens who live there. We are not going to let the communists destroy a great American city, let alone the nation's capital. And let's just also address one other thing. All these demonstrators that you've seen out here in recent days, all of these elderly white hippies, they're not part of the city and never have been. And by the way, most of the citizens who live in Washington, D.C. are black. This is not a city that has had any safety for its black citizens for generations. And President Trump is the one who is fixing that with the support of the Metropolitan Police Department, the support of the National Guard, and our federal law enforcement officers. So we're going to ignore these stupid white hippies that all need to go home and take a nap because they're all over 90 years old, and we're going to get back to the business of protecting the American people and the citizens of Washington, D.C.
Thank you, Stephen. A few questions.
Mr. Vice President, why are troops stationed here at Union Station on the National Mall instead of areas in D.C. where crime is statistically highest?
Well, if you've ever been to Union Station in the last few years with your family, you know that crime is actually extremely high right here in Union Station. You have vagrants, you have drug addicts, you have the chronically homeless, you have the mentally ill who harass, who threaten violence, who attack families, and they've done it for far too long. This should be a monument to American greatness. This should be a place where you can come and share a meal or go shopping with your family. It should not be a place where parents of small children are afraid to bring them because, to Stephen's point, we've empowered criminals over the people who actually need public safety in the city. So I think Union Station is a great example of what's possible when you actually have the political willpower to bring law and order and common decency back to the public spaces of the United States of America. So many Americans live in cities, they occupy these spaces, they know how unsafe they are, and they would love to be able to just live their life in places like Union Station without violent criminals making it impossible. We have changed so much in 9 days, and I thought it important to highlight how great of a space this could be, how easy it could be to actually enjoy something like Union Station if you just had politicians who stopped prioritizing violent criminals over the public citizens who deserve public safety in their own communities.
And to add to that real quick, we talked to a first responder before we came up here, said this is their #1 call location is Union Station for first responders. So it's not as if this is insignificant. In many ways, this is part of the epicenter. And we go to that and return it to the safe location that it should be. It also frees up resources around the city. And you've seen a majority of the arrests happening in a lot of those places that need help.
That's right.
Will you extend past 30 days? Will you extend past 30 days, and do you think you have will Congress go along with it?
Well, look, we'll ultimately let the President of the United States determine where we are after 30 days of this emergency order. I think that we're going to make a lot of progress over the next 20 days. I think that we're 9 days into this thing. But if the President of the United States thinks that he has to extend this order to ensure that people have access to public safety, then that's exactly what he'll do. If he thinks he doesn't have to do that, obviously he'll make that determination. But what we're going to do is try to empower these guys to do as good of a job as possible to bring public safety and order back to Washington, D.C. This is the national, cultural, and political capital of the world's greatest nation, and you talk to people, black, brown, white, so many of them are afraid to bring their kids into its public spaces. It's a shame. It's a blight. It actually should make every American ashamed that the world's leading superpower, our national capital, was unsafe for families to walk around at night. That is a disgrace. We don't think that it's acceptable, and thank God we have the presidential leadership to change it, and that's exactly what we're trying to do.
Were crime statistics manipulated by the DC police?
Well, I think that crime statistics all over our country were massively underreported because a lot of people would pick up the phone, they'd call somebody, they'd try to get help, and nobody would show up. If you look at wait times, at 911 response times all across our country, but certainly in Washington, D.C., they were way too long. And that wasn't because of the D.C. police, that was because there was too much crime and too few law enforcement agents on the street to bring order and decency to this city. You talk to these guys. I talked to 3 police officers earlier. I've talked to the National Guard. They are so happy that they've been empowered to do their job, which is to make American streets safe for American citizens. And I think that empowerment is going to keep on going until we make America, and D.C. in particular, a safe place again.
What evidence do you have that the DOJ has? Are you going to be releasing it?
I'm sorry?
Are you going to be releasing evidence of this?
Of what? That D.C. has a terrible crime problem? You just got to look around. Obviously, D.C. has a terrible crime problem. The Department of Justice statistics back it up. The FBI statistics back it up. Just talk to a resident of this city, this beautiful, great American city. Don't they deserve... I mean, we talk about human rights. We hear these people outside screaming, "Free D.C." Let's free D.C. from lawlessness. Let's free Washington, D.C. from one of the highest murder rates in the entire world. Let's free Washington, D.C. so that young families can walk around and feel safe and secure. That's what we're trying to free D.C. from. And as Stephen said, it's kind of bizarre that we have a bunch of old, primarily white people who are out there protesting the policies that keep people safe when they've never felt danger in their entire lives.
Which cities are next? Are you going to target any other?
Mr. President, thank you, Mr. Vice President. What are your thoughts on the establishment media's criticisms of President Trump's push to end the Russia-Ukraine war?
Well, I'll let these guys jump in. I mean, look, on the Russia-Ukraine war, we'll obviously have time to talk about that. I think the president campaigned on being a president of peace. He's already ended 6 wars. He's trying to end another. I think it's kind of disgraceful that the American media is attacking the president for trying to bring peace to the world. But most importantly, the president is trying to bring peace to the streets of our own cities. I really can't overemphasize this enough. It's the greatest country in the world. We've got moms and dads and young families. Shouldn't they be able to enjoy public spaces without vagrants taking away basic public safety from the American citizenry? The fact that it's taken so long to bring common decency and law and order back to Washington, D.C. is an indictment of a generation of failed leadership, and I hope these guys know how grateful we are that they're doing the job that so many failed to do. They're actually keeping the city safe. We're proud of you, and we're grateful to you.
Polls show that a majority of D.C. residents don't support the Guard. What's your message to that?
I'm sorry?
Polls show that a majority of D.C. residents don't support the Guard here. So what's your message to the majority of D.C. residents?
I'm highly skeptical that a majority of D.C. residents don't want their city to have better public safety and more reasonable safety standards within Washington, D.C. I don't know what poll you're talking about. Maybe the same polls that said Kamala Harris would win the popular vote by 10 points. Okay, we're going to stop there. We're going to grab a quick bite with some of the soldiers here and the National Guardsmen who are keeping the city safe again. I just want to say we're grateful to these guys. You guys are making D.C. safe again. We're proud of you, and we're grateful to you. Thank you.
Today needs to be involved in security guarantees.
Thank you, press. Thank you, press.
All right, there you have it. Vice President J.D. Vance addressing a number of questions surrounding the federal surge, if you will, with regard to the crime crackdown here in the nation's capital. The Vice President saying thank you to the National Guard and the MPD that have actually participated, and stating that, well, because of this, it has actually made the city a safer place. All of this occurring just as D.C. Mayor Muriel Bowser also addressing the media just minutes ago, stating that, well, as she put it, there has been no federal takeover. She was very adamant about that, and also stating with regard to top cop Pamela Smith that she has worked alongside the federal government. It has been very collaborative, and it has not been contentious thus far. Joining us to address this and so much more is ANC Commissioner Joseph Johnson. Joseph, you have been very patient for the last, let's say, half hour or so, waiting to chit-chat with us. I'm curious, you just heard the Vice President speak. One of the questions that happened to be posed to him surrounded D.C. residents and how they feel about the National Guard being right here in the nation's capital. The poll that one made mention of happens to surround the Washington Post poll that states most D.C. residents do not like the National Guard. Your response to what the Vice President had to say?
There's no doubt that there's mixed feelings about the presence of federal law enforcement officers in our communities. But the truth is, residents have expressed that they do feel a little bit safer, and then you have residents that's expressing that they do not feel safe because of the presence. I will echo what the mayor have stated, that our chief, our attorney general, they are all doing a fantastic job to ensure that the citizen rights here is respected, and that the law is followed. And so to say that President Mike Pence, he just don't know what he's speaking of. Residents do have mixed feelings. They entitled to their feelings and to feel that way. But it is two sides to it.
It was interesting. The administration somewhat throwing race into the mix as well. It was stated that the majority of residents living in the nation's capital happen to be African American. He also made mention that the protesters happen to be, as one official stated, stupid white hippies and communists as well. Yet again stating that because of this, the main residents, or the majority of residents, that being African Americans, are now safer here in the nation's capital. Your take on that?
Move to a different.
All right. Well, perhaps it appears to be lost yet again. Joseph serving as the ANC commissioner. Joseph Johnson. We'll try to bring him back up. Meanwhile, we'll take you back to Union Station, where it appears the protesters are still actually voicing their concerns. One of the things that D.C. Mayor Muriel Bowser made mention of during her press conference is that no official should wear a mask in an urban community. As we see the camera pan around, you could see some of the federal law enforcement, in this case the DEA police officer, wearing somewhat of a mask as he stands guard. And yet again, Vice President J.D. Vance is still inside Union Station. It's going to be interesting to see what rolls out as a result of the mayor's comments. Let's go ahead and see if we could take a look in one last time, yet again at Union Station, see if we get some audio and hear some of the protesters and what they have to say.
Do they have to go back out that way?
Let's go back. Keep going. Let's go back. Keep going. That's what they're going to do.
I know.
I listen to them.
Not the way you go.
Let's go back. Let's go back. More they got before. Right? These are the same.
I got you, don't worry. Hey, watch, I think they're going to keep walking us back, so just hanging out, right? Yeah.
Well, they start with heritage. Free DC! Free DC!
出てきました的なので顔を撮ってますので、そこからこう行って乗ります。バンス副大統領やテキサス国防長官が出てきました。首都ワシントンの治安を向上させるとしています。
Yeah, no, I'm fine. Yeah, no, I know. Good. I just want to make sure you were. I'm not going to, we'll see what it is, but I don't think it's in question range. I don't think he's coming here. I think they did this so they just walked right out there. Yeah, they're not going to come here. They're not going to walk.
Like the family that's just been sitting there the whole time.
I know.
They're stuck there. Yeah, no, I mean, like,
I can't find that out.
I'll walk back with you.
Yeah.
After.
Yeah. I'm just gonna make sure.
Where is Mike?
I just don't define a different place.
Hey, Mike. Let me give you this. Thank you. I really appreciate it. You guys clear? Yeah. I mean, all essentials.
I'll hang tight.
Yes, thank you.
I know. I was like,
as soon as he leaves. Hey, I'm just at
I told him like this going on. I think it's more just like, you know. I didn't say, you got to do the conversation. Oh, you can't just send it somewhere and say, do this, and then expect it to have everything else.
Thank you.
I appreciate it.
Occupy my city with troops and feds that are unnecessary. We have a 30-year crime law, and they bring these demons, these masked up demons and cowards, to intimidate our communities, to arrest black and brown members of DC. These are monsters that are just trying to intimidate us. We will not cower. We will not bend the knee to tyranny. We will always stand in the face of these demons and scum. We will get them out of our communities. Free DC! Free DC! Free DC! Free DC! Get out of my city, you demons! Epstein files, you monsters!
didn't. Were you doing a nice show? Afternoon.
Suppose you might be able to come talk to us all about having experience.
Hey, sir! I don't think Shake Shack should serve booze. What are you doing in there?
So, and it was live streamed. Yeah.
Exactly. They don't serve booze. Yeah?
JD, I didn't know they have a couch in Shake Shack. Did you bring your own? Boycott Shake Shack!
Secret Service has been here for it must have felt like they had saved them.
All right, guys, yet again, you have been watching an actual live shot out of Union Station, where Vice President J.D. Vance is flanked by a number of other officials as they meet and greet with the National Guard in Metropolitan Police Department. Clearly, you could hear on the background a number of protesters expressing their outrage, chants of Free D.C. going back and forth throughout the entire visit. Joining us yet again to discuss all things that we have seen thus far is ANC Commissioner Joseph Johnson back here on the Live Zone. Joseph, we had you earlier, a little bit of a technical difficulty, but glad to have you back right here on the LZ. As you and I were talking, I made mention that one of the things that D.C. Mayor Muriel Bowser stated during her press conference is she said no official should wear a mask while in an urban environment. Clearly, if we take a look at some of the shots we're seeing out of Union Station, you'll see some of the DEA officers wearing masks. With that being said, I'm curious your take on that. Do you agree with the mayor?
I agree 100% with the mayor. I think not too long ago, the city council passed where young people cannot wear face masks. And so it seems here it sends a total different message across the city that it's okay for some to wear masks and it's okay for those others not to wear masks. And if you do, you'll be, faced with, being arrested or treated like a criminal. And so I agree with the mayor. And I think that the federal law enforcement partners here shouldn't want, if their sole objective is to come and work with MPD to keep crime down, and they shouldn't have to be concerned about wearing a face mask.
Joseph, one of the things that we also heard the administration make mention of, and I was posing this question to you right as we lost you, is that they stated that a number of the protesters, quote, happen to be stupid white hippies and communists. It was also stated that the majority of residents living in the nation's capital happen to be African American, and in essence, President Trump has come to the rescue to save them. Your take on that?
President Pence don't understand the culture of D.C. His statements are false, and residents in D.C. and leaders in D.C. speak truth, and they speak the facts. I think that President Trump statements are
Hold your
false
thought right there, Joseph. I want to go back to a live shot of Vice President J.D. Vance leaving Union Station. Let's take a look in. All right, it appears we have actually lost that shot as yet again the Vice President now leaving Union Station, flanked not only by a number of National Guard members, the Metropolitan Police Department, but protesters as well. It's clearing up somewhat. Let's go ahead and take a live look in, Emmy. All right, yet again, emotions running high right there at Union Station, where a number of protesters expressing their outrage over the federal surge of the Metropolitan Police Department. We are yet again joined by ANC Commissioner Joseph Johnson. It's been a busy day, Joseph. I mean, obviously, a lot of folks really upset about what's happening, despite the report in the Washington Post, the new survey that states the majority of D.C. residents do not like the actual federal surge. The vice president making mention that it's working, and not only is it working, but it's working very well.
So I'll just say that you know you see the partnership with the federal and the local government. The partnership is working. I think that they have found some common grounds to work. And in terms of their arrest over 300 people for valid crimes or felonies or whatever the case may be. The problem here is you using federal troops to go into a local city and communities, and families are feeling intimidated by it. But there is no doubt that crime is down. Arrests have been made in partnership with MPD, and I mean, it does not require the presence of federal troops in our city to police our city. We have an amazing police department that every day go out and defend our citizens in the district, and they do a fantastic job at it. My message to Vice President Pence and President Trump and his administration would be, how about finding some funding that we can put back into the budget so that these troops that you want to have in a local city, we can hire more local officers on the grounds so that we wouldn't have to deal with this. But I think that having the troops it does do a lot, and residents, they entitled to feel the way that they feel, to be unsure what's going to happen if you go out, you get stopped, or you don't comply with them if you haven't done anything wrong. Residents are entitled to feel that way.
We also know that the U.S. Marshal Service now offering a $500 reward for tips that lead to an arrest and conviction. Your colleague, one of your colleagues, ANC Commissioner Betty Scipio, I believe, said the reward feels like a slave bounty. Do you agree?
I agree 100%. The Trump administration have been throwing a lot of things out because it is a difficult time in our city, but in America is a difficult time. Families are struggling day in and day out. And so when you throw money, you'll have those who need it at that time that will take that as an offer to do it. But my message to residents is, do not be fooled by the propaganda that is being spilled from this administration. It is important that residents continue to look out for one another. We are a community. We are a city that have always looked out for our people and supported one another, and we have to continue to do so.
Well,
and my last point would be, race do not have a part in this. And so it kind of show you what this administration have kind of pick their people around, people that would speak radical, that's racist, but in DC, race do not have a part to play in any of this.
Yet again, we have been speaking with ANC Commissioner Joseph Johnson, kind enough to join us on the Live Zone. Mr. Johnson, truly appreciate your time, and yet again, you being patient.
Thank you. Have a good one.
All right, folks, we'll take a quick break. This is the Fox 5 Live Zone. All right, guys, back here on the Fox 5 Live Zone. Oh my gosh, look who I have sitting right next to me. Boys and girls, it's time to go back to school in a major way, and when you go back to school, no one gives back more than the real MVP. Philanthropist, entrepreneur. I could have swore I even saw actor in that bio. But she is truly known as the real MVP. Wanda Durant joining us right here on the Live Zone. Good to see you, my friend.
Good to see you, guys. Thank you so much for having me. It's always a pleasure to be with you.
Yes, ma'am. We just get giddy around here at Fox 5 when we see that you're coming in. Everybody starts running around. Where's she at? Where's she at? Well, I got you.
Yes. Good to be here. Good to be here.
And you have got the hearts of so many by giving back in a major way. Of course, we're talking about the upcoming Durant Center Back to School Community Day, set to get underway this upcoming Saturday. This is a big deal. By the way, 1 to 4 on the campus of Suitland High School, I should add. Why is it that you give back so hard, so many times, so many days in and days out?
The answer is always the same. It's my faith. My faith in God. He's blessed us with so much. Blessed us to have this platform and visibility. And it's my responsibility. Too much is given, much is required, and that I hold that dear to my heart. It matters to me that the community know that I remember when I was raising my children, and when we needed support, the community was there for us. And so I want the community to know, along with our family, that we're there. And so it matters.
Yeah, it matters in a major way. I'm thinking back, and you just touched on this, I'm thinking back to that first day of school, and you get the clothes ready the night before.
Yes, we were just talking about that.
Your haircut got to be tight now. Your hair laid, as they like to say, or what is it, the edges laid?
That's right, that's right.
But more importantly, you got to have food in that belly in order to learn, and you got to have the school supplies in order to do just that as well. And that's exactly what you're doing. Can you speak to that yet again, about the importance of having that?
Yeah, because, you know, a lot of families are facing challenges. And so we just want to be a support to the community, let them know that we are there. We know that there are costs associated with going back to school with new clothes and supplies and lunches and haircuts. And so we just want to do our small part along with the rest of the community to support them and let them know that we're rallying behind you and your family and your students, because we want them to be successful. And the more people that love on our students, the greater the chance they have at being successful.
Yeah. We saw a report that came out earlier today here in the nation's capital with regard to unemployment. We now lead the nation, 6% unemployment. Maryland and Virginia, I believe half of that, not too far behind. I bring that up because there are so many parents now that are going to be sending their kiddos to school. They don't have a job.
I know.
And it's hard for them. Can you share some encouraging words with them, perhaps?
Well, the encouraging words I would say is that have faith in God. Because even though these are very difficult times for those who are now unemployed, we don't know what the next chapter will bring. Just be open to explore what's next. Be willing to go outside of your comfort zone. I know for me, and my situation was different, but I had to find my way again too. After being a federal worker, working alongside my son, trying to figure out what it is that I want to do with my life. And I had to approach a new career as a public speaker. And so there are opportunities that we may not be considering because we were so locked into our routine and our schedule of doing things. But keep your faith, pray, and imagine something different, and something different will come.
After hearing that, I think I quit. I'm gonna start. I'm gonna go start a media company. Bye.
Let's do it. Let's do it.
Yet again, you are giving back in a major way this upcoming Saturday. It's known as the one and only the Durant Center Back to School Community Day. What am I going to be surrounded by when I show up? What am I going to see? The kiddos running around? Yes, I know that, but I'm pretty sure you have so much going on.
Yes, we have. First, you're going to see college track. We are in partnership with our commitment to college track at the Durant Center. So you're going to see our college track staff there, the volunteers, students from college track, our executive director, James Williams will be there, the community volunteering will be there. We will have food trucks. We have a lemonade stand, we have ice cream, we have vendors, we have activities for the kids, we have social awareness tents out there for the community talking about, we also, I believe, we're going to have a tent where the students can get physicals for sports,
Sure,
to play
yeah.
sports. And so we try to cover it all because we just want to be a great support to the community. And this is just not the only thing that we're going to do. We just want the community to know that we're there all year round with programming at the Durant Center with our program director, Roderick Irby, my sister, who is our COO, who makes sure all the money is straight. And we're,
Amen to that.
You know, we're staying on board with the money, Michelle Ridgely. So, and we have pop-up programming that we're planning for the year so that the parents will have a place, a safe place to bring their children. And so we're just excited to be in the community. I raised my children across the street from my center. Next to Suitland High School is where I raised my children. And so I want the community to know that we are here. We're not going anywhere. As long as I have breath in my body, giving back to the community that I love so much will always be a top priority for me.
Oh, that's how you do it, and do it oh so well. By the way, you had me at lemonade stand and ice cream.
Then the lemonade stand, oh my goodness. Oh, the lemonade stand. Oh.
I'm with you on that one.
I love a good cup of lemonade.
You and me both.
Yes.
And you can try it as well. Should you show up, when you show up, the upcoming The Durant Center announces Back to School Community Day this upcoming Saturday, 1 to 4, right there at Suitland High School.
Serving students from 6th grade to 12th grade. Come on out while supplies last. Okay. All are welcome, and we will be excited to see you there.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me. Thank you. I appreciate your time. Thank you so much.
Yes, ma'am. All right, folks. How cool is that? The real MVP sitting right here. We'll take a quick break. We'll be right back. All right, guys, back here on the Fox 5 Live Zone on a Feel Good Wednesday. How about a little celebrity dish, shall we? Joining us, as she does each and every Wednesday, hey, look who's back. Poet Taylor, midday shenanigans at WPGC 95.5. What's up, my friend?
Yeah, I got the screen on my phone fixed, so now I look crystal clear and cute.
Poet looking amazing as always. I see you're repping the dish right there. Obviously, we can check you out doing just that as well.
Yes. Also needed some water, but yes, Guy, yes, thank you. Appreciate that.
All right, let's jump into it. We're going to kick it off with Zoe Kravitz, who literally became a honey trap, if you will, Poet, on the red carpet this week. A beelined, you get it, straight at her, but luckily for her, Austin Butler buzzed in as her knight in shining armor, apparently saying, you know what, while this bee is flying in your hair, if you will, I'm going to swat it out of here. And in essence, he came in to save the day. Not only can he play Elvis, and not only can he fly a plane in a World War II series, but apparently he's a great bee swatter, Poet.
Listen, I need him around for these mosquitoes in the District of Cousins because they are eating like the fat boys out here, and I don't appreciate it. So, Austin, come swat some mosquitoes from me. But talk about being in the right place, right time, right energy. And who knows, she might even be allergic to bee stings, so even better. We love to see it. Save me from a bee stinger.
I just thought that's really cool. So many times we find ourselves in a position where you don't know what to do or how to handle it, Poet. Well, that's not the case when it comes to Austin. Like you said, he was right there at the right place at the right time.
And we are. And so, okay, I'll take a cute knight in shining armor with some bug repellent any day. Pull up on me. Thank you very much.
Hey, Poet, let's switch gears to a little basketball, shall we? Did I ever tell you who my favorite basketball player is of all time? Did I ever make mention of it to you, Poet?
What's it?
Okay, it's Allen Iverson. Yeah, the first AI, not this whole, artificial intelligence. In this case, he's gotten our attention in a major way. That's because he's launching a book tour for his memoir, Misunderstood. Now, the tour starts in October and includes a stop right here in the nation's capital. He'll be signing copies at Mahogany Bookstore. We all know where that is. That's on October the 9th. According to the book's description, it chronicles his rise from an impoverished child in Virginia all the way to becoming an NBA star. What are you thinking about this, Poet?
I love it. First, shout out to Mahogany Books, one of our Buy Black Spotlights right here on PGC. I think right now, many of our younger people need to be reminded that success only comes before work in the dictionary, and that you are not the full sum of the 4-block radius in which you live. So I feel like his memoir couldn't come at a better time. I remember AI and all the things that he went through, but I also remember once he really hit that court, once he grew as a young man into a man in the village, and being transparent in all of the other challenges that came with all that fame and everything. So right on time, and what a way for him to receive his flowers while he's here to still smell them and be poured into. I can't wait. I'm going to be a front and center. Do I still have my own AIs? I got to go see.
I do, Poet. It's really interesting. I think DC is near and dear to his heart. Obviously, he played in several NBA All-Star games, but he won that MVP All-Star right here in the nation's capital when the game took place here. Gosh, how many years ago? Don't want to date myself, but it's going to be really cool to see him come back to the city that he loves oh so much, outside of Philly and outside of Virginia Beach and all that other area down there.
On the eyes, whatever, y'all. Don't claim him now. Like, don't be trying to claim my international man of history from Woodbridge once he get, his EGOT status and all of that. No.
Hey, Poet, let's move on to Maryland's own Oscar-winning actress and comedian Monique, who, shall I say, is still demanding an apology from Tyler Perry in Oprah. Now, many years ago, when she made Precious, she said Perry called her difficult to work with. She said Oprah didn't support her as well during that time. Both were producers on the movie. Monique was a guest yesterday on the podcast Outlaws with T.S. Madison. She said in part, quote, "That lie cost me 12 years of my career. Until he fixes it, I will not stop." You talk about being adamant, Poet.
She should be. I've always been a firm believer that I need the apology to be as loud as the accusation. And to her point, Tyler O was on everything, everywhere, telling everybody exactly who she was not, and it did affect her career. And I feel like if you did that and in time you realized that you were wrong or you misspoke, then your apology needs to be as loud as the accusations. And a lot of times, we don't get that. You get dragged through the mud, dragged across Beyonce's internet, and then when the real truth roll out, it's whispered. Nah, screaming from the rooftops. Put it on the front page of the paper and apologize. She has every right to ask for what she wants. And I hope that she's not just standing in that space. Like, you can wait for your apology and still live life. She's still doing projects. So get your apology, sis, if that's what you need to heal. But don't let that be the only part of your healing.
Yeah, but you know what's interesting, Poet? I mean, let's just be real, and I see your side with this, but do you really think Tyler Perry and or Oprah will even address something like this?
I feel like it doesn't matter if they want to address it or not. This is Mo's healing. This is her speaking her truth. And then there are those of us who kind of pour into the work that they do, and it's really up to you. Do you want to pour into somebody that would drag somebody, do something for their career, like blackball them for 12 years, and know that they didn't give that person that just due if it's due? So I don't know. I know this is not the opinion that everybody else has. One of people are telling her to shut up. It's old, this, that, and the third. But most people watching got a grudge with somebody that they never got their apology for and never really asked for it either. So you don't know what she might be changing lives right now, guy. People making phone calls right now. Like, you need to apologize for when you took my tax return and did not give it back. Posing as a listen. Okay, I'm gonna just go over here. I'm not gonna be upset.
You gotta love it, poet. We'll end with this, and that is new hair. Who is this? In this case, we're talking about Keke Palmer. Debuted a pixie cut ahead of her 32nd birthday. Well, that's it, only 32? She shared a series of selfies of her new do on Instagram, captioning the post, "My birthday is just around the corner." You liking that, poet?
Love it. You know, I was a short girl for quite some time. When you said you do who this, I was like, look, y'all, I ain't grown enough hair for a ponytail. But that's what birthdays and celebrations of making it through a year of good, bad, ugly, and beautiful is all about. Technically, God, we were here a year ago today, which is why I celebrate every day like it's my birthday. So keep doing it because the village needs you and sees you. I don't know, God, I might have to go back short now. Then it took so long to grow all this hair.
Well, I'm sure whatever you do, poet, it will be oh so stylish. Hey, we'll end with this, and that is you are always out and about giving back in a major way. In this case, we're talking about you teaming up with Events DC presents Jazz in the District Dinner Series in Sweepstakes. Oh, do tell.
Okay, so I know it is summer restaurant week. We know there's a lot happening in the city. And the idea is that this is our home and we deserve to fellowship, eat good in real life and be social. So they have gotten me to host 3 phenomenal events during summer restaurant week. Tonight will be at the Unconventional Diner. And up for grabs is the Events DC Ultimate DC Jazz Fest giveaway, where you get 2 tickets, a 2-night hotel stay, and dinner on us. But you got to be in these restaurants during summer restaurant week to scan a QR code to get in on that. And then we're going to do a whole pop-up on K Street between 7th and 9th on the 28th, where we'll have tipsy scoops, some folks from the GC Jazz Fest, and just reminding people that this is our city. We know the challenges we have, and we know when we work as a community and a collective, magical things happen. So come out, eat, enjoy, pour into a local business, fellowship with your favorite village cousin. And in my mind, even with the chaos, the best is still yet to come, because I believe in us.
Yeah, magical things always happen when you put food right in front of me, poet. So I'm definitely going to take you up on that offer. We truly appreciate you joining us right here on the Live Zone. Make it a great day, poet. We'll chat soon. All right, guys, we'll take a quick break. We'll be right back. All right, guys, back here on the Fox 5 Live Zone. Well, it's the three words just about everybody in America happens to be saying. Back to school. Yes, back to school now in full effect throughout America. And the question, well, it remains. What's trending for kids this fall? From functional fashion to Instagram-worthy family moments. Do you want to know? Well, I'm glad to say we are going to be able to tell you. I'm pleased to say that I'm joined by Miss Ranu Coleman. She is the head of marketing at PatPat. You know PatPat. Become the go-to brand for affordable, adorable, and practical kids wear. And she joins us right here on the Live Zone. Ranu, good to see you and welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
I got to tell you, I always get excited during this time of the year. We had Kevin Durant, NBA star Kevin Durant's mom on the show earlier, Wanda Durant. She and I had a conversation about, that first day of school when you lie out your clothes on the bed, you get your sneakers ready, you get all excited and you show up for that first day. However, there are different ways to go about it, and you're here to share with us several tips to do just that.
Yeah, absolutely. So there's a lot of things that are trending right now, I would say, for back to school. One thing for sure is athleisure. So athleisure is definitely not, I would say, just for grown-ups anymore. Parents want, comfy, functional outfits that can really go from the classroom to recess, after school sports. We have an activewear collection, for example, that has, moisture wicking fabrics that are really soft, durable. Denim is also back in a big way, and we're seeing a lot of kids gravitate towards denim jeans, cargo styles, jackets. But the key, I would say with denim for kids is really about comfort. So if it's not, stretchy or easy to move in, most kids don't really want to wear it.
You know what's so interesting, Ranu? Is it just me, or does it seem like things that used to be really popular in the past have made a comeback? Is it just me?
No, it's not just you. Because I feel like there's certain trends that were so popular, like especially one is even matching sets. Like I remember like in the 80s, matching sets were so popular, and now they are very popular again. Like those sweatsuits, they're just really convenient and they're affordable. It's easy and kind of simple dressing. But yeah, we're seeing a ton of trends from the past, even like the bright neon colors. There's a lot of that that's happening right now for back to school too.
Of course, once school gets underway, well, we had that first day of school, which is oh so exciting. And then there happens to be picture day, and I think we all can remember that as well. One of the things that you want to highlight is matching moments during picture day, so perhaps with your siblings.
Yeah, definitely. So one thing that parents tell us all the time is how much they love kind of coordinating their looks for their siblings. So especially for back to school, like the first day photos, like you mentioned, picture day. And I think for one thing, it's really cute on social media and people love that. But the other factor is that it just makes your morning so much easier for parents. So, we offer a lot of styles that work together without making the kids look identical, if that makes sense. So a lot of color palettes that complement each other and similar prints. So the kids are kind of complementing each other for those first day photos, but they're not necessarily matching like in an identical way. So parents really love that, and it just looks super cute in pictures too.
Hey, Ranu, don't tell anybody, but I pride myself on being somewhat fashionable. And not only that, but I buy a lot of my clothes, believe it or not, at Target in Walmart. I've always said it's not really about the brand, it's about how it looks on me. And one of the things that you make mention of is budget smart. And I think I do somewhat of a good job doing just that.
Yeah, no, definitely. We actually sell our products on Target and Walmart too. But I think right now, everything that is being offered is more great style without that high price tag. Families are definitely looking for value. And I think one of the ways a lot of people are doing that, including us, is just, having bundles, multi-packs. You're getting a lot of products that are like, a 3-in-1 or like a pack of 10. And also just offering really like high quality fabrics that don't necessarily sacrifice on the comfort or the design.
We'll end with this, and a little birdie whispered in my ear that if you look at the stats, you look at the numbers, parents this year are shopping different from how they've shopped in the past. And I'm hoping you can elaborate on that.
Yeah, I think just in general, parents are just a lot more kind of price conscious, but they also want clothes that are durable. So they want things that they can buy this season and it's going to last through the whole year. I think in the past, you were seeing people shopping at all different times, but right now it's more for back to school, but they want those clothes to kind of last throughout the entire year.
Which is perhaps more reason folks need to grab immediately Pat. And folks want to do just that. How would they go about to do so right now?
They can go to patpat.com, and we also sell on Amazon, Target, and Walmart.
When it comes to Pat, I like that. Yet again, we have been speaking with Ranu Coleman, head of marketing at Pat, kind enough to join us right here on the Live Zone. Make it a great day. Truly appreciate your time.
Thank you.
You bet. All right, folks, we'll take a quick break. Hey, on the flip side of that break, intern John joins us. It's our Wednesday Talkers coming up next, right here on the Live Zone. All right, guys, back here on the Fox 5 Live Zone. Our guy is back talking about the one and only intern John. You can check him out on Hot 99.5. He's here to talk Wednesday Talkers. That's a long intro. Welcome, my friend.
I appreciate it. Thanks for having me, man. It was a pleasure.
It's so funny. Right before we started, one of the things John said to one of our stagehands is, hey, I stole this.
Yeah, I felt bad. Jim Loke was giving me crap for it. He goes, bring it back. I'm like, dude.
Oh, gosh.
I realized as I left, I'm like, oh, Secret Service.
Yeah, had you not brought it back, it would be your last time here. Let me just tell you. Hey, it's so funny because I love chit-chatting with you about some of the things that folks are talking about at home. In this case, it kind of pertains to both you and I. And a new study came out. It said most men suffer from haircut anxiety.
Yeah.
According to a newly released poll, 21% feel nervous about asking their stylist or barber for a new hairstyle. Another 23% have been afraid to ask for specific haircuts. A third said they've had success by showing their stylist a reference photo of what they want. You got a cool haircut, man. Any problems for you?
Listen, I didn't realize how HD Fox 5's cameras were until my mom, every time I'm on, is like, your hair should be better this way, this way. I get the anxiety. There's nothing worse than bad cut as a dude because it takes a long time to look better. We don't have much to make us look good.
Yeah.
Bad haircut will ruin your month.
I remember as a kid, I went to the barber shop, and back then, remember who was that? Kid and Play. Remember how he had the high top?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Fade?
Yeah.
And so I showed it to my barber, who, by the way, happened to be white.
And he got it?
He tried.
Yeah. Yeah, he tried. Yeah, wasn't good at all.
Let me just say, I came out with a Gumby, and that's when it goes like to the side.
I look like a surfer. Absolutely.
But never really had anxiety about, how my hair is. I mean, it's just, I don't know. I guess for us, I think we just kind of stick with what we know and stick with what we like for the most part.
You're the prettiest guy on radio, guy. Your hair doesn't matter, dude. They should call it WPG-13 when you're on, my guy. Raw sex appeal.
Oh, God, this guy's funny. Hey, let's move on to Olive Garden. Are you a fan, by the way?
Oh, who isn't? When you're there, your family.
Yeah, I absolutely love Olive Garden. I got on it kind of late. You know, I would say probably early 20s. I should have been doing it in my teens because, oh my gosh, it's all so great. But Olive Garden now bringing back the beloved menu special, and you probably already guessed it. Yes, the never-ending pasta bowl. For a limited time, I might add. In a time when food prices seem to be constantly rising, Olive Garden doing its part. Starting Monday, August 25th, the restaurant will keep its $13.99 price for a never-ending pasta bowl, which includes, by the way, I believe those salads, unlimited pasta, and breadsticks.
Oh, come on now. That's America, baby.
Yeah.
That's fantastic. You can't go wrong with that. They also sell soup by the gallon, I found out this week. You can get their catering soup, but it comes in a giant tub by the gallon. Olive Garden's saving America. It doesn't get more American than the Olive Garden.
I love their breadsticks. The problem is that I'll fill up on the breadsticks, and then I can't even eat the soup, or let's say pasta.
It's definitely not a do TV and then Olive Garden type of thing. It's like I'm hungover, I need carbs. I'm going to eat like I'm doing a marathon and then not do a marathon. You know what I mean?
Yeah. A favorite dish at Olive Garden for you?
I'm an Alfredo guy. Anything
Really?
Alfredo, shrimp Alfredo, chicken Alfredo, anything is my go-to. I eat like I'm Michael Phelps. I just don't burn 30,000 calories right afterwards.
Oh, gosh. Well, you have us burning all those calories with laughter, I'm telling you. Today is a very special day, not only for me, but for you in a major way. And that's because you head up a major radio show, my friend, right here in the nation's capital. And today is National Radio Day. I'm hoping you could speak to what radio is to you, what it has done for you, and where you see it going.
I think the coolest thing about radio is the chance to meet listeners. I mean, you know as well as I do, it's about that connection. You're a legend, Guy. You've been on PGC for a minute, and that's rare in this industry. And that's because you made a connection with people, and you see them out in the streets, and you go to events. I think radio, we can make that connection. We can do charity events, and like most of our listeners, we probably met. You know what I mean? So it literally is kind of like talking to your friends and family. And it'd be 13 years here for me in October, which is crazy. I thought if I could make it last a year, I'd be lucky. And now here we are, and it's just kind of crazy.
Yeah.
You know, it flies by quickly, but I'm very blessed.
The difference between radio and TV for you thus far?
I don't know what I can say and not say on TV. Every time I get invited back, I'm like, okay. I know in radio, I'm pretty sure I know.
Yeah.
And there's a dump button. TV, I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing.
Well, you're
We'll
doing
see.
a great job at it, man. I'm telling you, you're really doing major
Thank you.
things. One of the things with regard to listeners that you made mention of is I saw a video of you on Instagram. I think you were at a concert. I don't.
Jonas Brothers.
Was that
last
what it
week.
was?
Yeah, absolutely.
And you walked up to a couple. It was the coolest thing. They were sitting there on the grass. You know, I guess they were in the far back seats, if you will, on the grass. And you're like, hey, you just got front row seats. Was that staged?
No, it was completely just like we had the seats for the Jonas Brothers up front, and the girl and her boyfriend, maybe, or guy she was with, I'm not too sure. We made their day, which was very cool. That's one of the cool things too.
It was the coolest thing because you walked up to them, and as soon as you walked up, like, oh my God, intern John.
Yeah, that was pretty cool. I'm like, we picked the right couple. If they're like, please leave, I'm like, okay, that worked out really nice.
Yeah, you know, had I done it, they would have been like, oh my God, Emmanuel Lewis. It was just, I just couldn't believe it. I was like, wow, how cool is that? Anywhere we go, they know this guy.
I love Webster. That's awesome.
You are coming up on the take. Could you tell us a topic you're going to be chit-chatting about?
Yeah, Maryland pizza.
Huh.
Not every area needs to have their own type of pizza.
Really?
I'll say that. Yeah, but we have our own Maryland style pizza.
Okay.
Didn't really know that until this morning, but I'm learning.
I'm a big Lido's fan. Are they based in Maryland?
Yeah, and so that's actually, they say, is the example. I'm like, oh, Lido's makes sense.
Yeah.
They don't cut corners. And if they want to advertise, get at me. At Intern John Radio.
Goes by the name of Intern John. You can check him out coming up at 2 o'clock on The Take. He joins us now right here on the Live Zone. I truly appreciate you, my friend, and your haircut.
Appreciate it.
We'll take a quick break. On the flip side of that break, producer Chris joins us next right here on the Live Zone. about we talk weather, shall we? Tucker Barnes joining us as he always does right here on the Live Zone.
Good afternoon. You got a big show going on today, don't you?
There's a lot going on.
Looking very sharp there today.
Oh, thank you. Yeah. Like my little felt thing going on, the pocket square.
No, that's.
Thank you very much.
Hang on, let me adjust mine. Okay, we're ready to go. Should we do weather together?
Let's do it.
All right, here's the deal. Another cloudy day, another cloudy start, more drizzle, more dreariness. Yesterday, we only hit 73 degrees, Guy. That was our coolest daytime high for that date, all the way back to 1957, I think.
Wow.
Isn't that amazing?
That's beyond amazing.
Yeah.
Sheesh, okay.
68 years ago was the last time we had such a cool August afternoon for the date. Okay, today, the only reason I mentioned that is today we're actually going to warm it up. I know it doesn't, you're looking at that and you're going, okay, forget it. It looks like we'll get some breaks in the clouds by late afternoon. So we'll trend towards a little sunshine here and reach the low 80s later today with a couple of showers moving in late this afternoon tonight. See, if you look out in Western Maryland, see the shower activity? Cold front, okay? I want you to remember that. Clouds parked across the area, okay? I want you to remember that.
Okay.
All right, because just off to our south, we have a little hurricane called Aaron.
Ooh.
Okay, see it at the bottom of your screen, the very outer canopy?
I do see that.
Okay. If it wasn't for that cold front, that hurricane might try to make landfall in New England. That cold front's going to help push it out to sea.
Oh, that's good news. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
See all the players there? Meanwhile, we're stuck in the middle, and we will probably, before the hurricane arrives later tonight and tomorrow, and again, we're not going to get a direct landfall or direct impact, but we are going to get some of the clouds with the hurricane. Before that happens, we should get some breaks in the clouds later this afternoon, and again, in the low to mid 80s. All right, your latest with Aaron, 100-mile-per-hour winds. Actually looking a little healthier in the satellite signature during the midday hours, and it's been slowly re-intensifying. So perhaps this will increase its wind speed a little bit. The track still takes it off to the north, and then whoop, thanks to that cold front, it gets pushed out to sea. And that is great news. If we're any closer, we'd be talking about some serious impacts. It will get close enough that we're going to have a lot of wind and waves out at our beaches, and by tomorrow, right around now, 24 hours from now, we're going to have winds gusting probably to about 50 miles an hour in places like Ocean City, Bethany, Rehoboth. Pretty good wave action, pretty good storm surge, rip currents. You know, I think they're planning on some beach erosion by Friday. So it will be, you know, a moderate event at our beaches. And even here locally tomorrow, we'll have some clouds associated with the hurricane, and probably get some winds gusting, maybe 25 to 30 along the bay and that kind of thing. So, you know, it is definitely a talker. We're going to have reporters out there tomorrow to cover what's happening at the beaches. Behind it, it will be beautiful. It will be splendicious. It will be all things fabulous Friday and Saturday.
Two things I absolutely love, though. Whoop and splendicious. Got to have more of that, Tucker.
I don't know if that's an actual word, but you can tip me anyways. It will get nice Friday and Saturday.
Good stuff. Absolutely love it. Tucker Barnes, all things weather, right here on the Live Zone. Guys, if you haven't already done so yet, make sure you download the Fox Local app. That way you can take that forecast with you on the go. Not only can you do that, but you get a chance to check out my next guy. Yeah, producer Chris. You see that Do You Like It or Not? He's the host of just that. What's up, my man?
How you doing?
I'm doing good. I have a confession I need to make.
Lay it on me.
So you, during your segment, What to Watch, made mention of that new movie with Eddie Murphy and Pete Davidson, Eva Longoria. Did I pronounce her name correctly? I said on air...
The Pickup, I believe?
Yeah, I'm not going to watch that. That looks like it's the cheesiest thing ever. I saw it last night. It was freaking hilarious.
That is the best possible outcome,
It
to
was
be honest
awesome.
with you, because that's you never really know with some of those, listen, not to call out streaming, because we love streaming around here, but, you know, I think what a lot of these big streaming network studios have done is they get a big name, they get like either an exotic locale or like a wild story, and then they kind of skimp everywhere else. So you just really never know exactly what you're gonna get. So the fact that you say it's hilarious is the best possible review I could get.
I laughed aloud several times. It was funny.
And that's really all I want, especially from an Eddie Murphy movie, to be honest with you. You just want to laugh. So I'll have some new recommendations for you by the end of the week. Hopefully something else. Listen, when I come on this show, a lot of times I hold up this QR code, and I like to tell you that if you scan it, you can join the Lion Zoom room, be part of the show. That's what we do every single night on Do You Like It or Not, because the U stands for you, the viewers, and it's your chance to weigh in on some of the topics we talk about. And listen, I don't even care if you want to talk about something I wasn't even planning on talking about. It's just the way things go. But tonight, what happens is once you scan this QR code, you hang out with me for a little bit, it turns into a guest starring co-hosting opportunity, and that's exactly what's going to happen tonight. Allison Crawford from Prince George's County is going to join us live in studio. She posted about it on her Instagram story. We messaged earlier this morning. She told me she woke up at 6:30 a.m. to start preparing for this. And listen, she is doing my job for me because she is instructing all of her social media followers, her entire network, to download that app, scan that QR code. But I told her last night that with her not being in the Lion Zoom room, someone had to step up and take her place. So tonight it could be you, and before you know it, you could be joining us live right here in studio to co-host along with us. So I hope you tune in.
She's the first one, right?
She's the first one, yeah. She has been one of our most loyal, I keep calling her Do You Like It or Not MVP, because she has been there every single night, and it was so funny. We connected on Instagram today, and I went to click on her, and she was already following and being followed by my cousin's wife, who is another regular Do You Like It or Not Lion Zoom Room fan. So, yeah, I mean, it's just, I love the little community that we've got going, and we just want to see it grow bigger and bigger. Yesterday, I was talking to Marissa Mitchell, and I said, you know, when I was on the morning show, we had a dedicated group of social media followers who would message me, they would message the show, I would put it on the screen, we would talk about it, it would get the conversation going. And I name dropped a few people, and one of the people I name dropped was Stacy Brooks. And I said at the time, Stacy did not follow me tonight. She has not joined the Lion Zoom room. I have not seen her posting or watching. Sure enough, last night, I look in the Lion Zoom room, Stacy Brooks is in there, joined us live, and guess what? It's her birthday. So happy birthday, Stacy, if you're watching. Thank you so much for joining us, and we hope to see you back in the Lion Zoom room soon.
Awesome. We got about 2 minutes left, and I really want to make sure we touch on this topic. Yeah, that happens to be one of our fave spots.
Yeah, speaking of birthdays, if you're getting a little older these days and going out and partying doesn't sound as up your alley anymore, the 930 Club has you covered. They just posted on Instagram minutes ago that they are going to host a party next weekend, Friday night, for let's just say the 30 and over crowd. And what does that mean? That means the party gets started at 5:30 p.m. So that way you can be home and in bed and still get that 8 hours of sleep, be ready to go on Saturday. And isn't that what we all want?
I agree. However, typically around that time, I'll have one. I'll have two, and then before you know it...
Listen, all that means is I'm going to probably go out somewhere else afterwards because I'm going to have so much fun. I'm going to be like, let's keep this party. So it's a brilliant on their part, I would say.
Yeah, I think it's really cool as well. And yet again, you know when you're that age, to your point, it's the next day when you wake up, you're like, why in the heck did I do something like that?
The other thing guaranteed is because they know their crowd is going to be 30 plus, they're going to be playing all of the hits that we love. Exactly. None of this new garbage. I'm kidding.
Chris, you're about to sound old, my friend.
Well, that ship has sailed.
All right, guys, if you haven't already done so yet again, make sure you click on that QR code that he's holding right there so you can join. Stacy, is that her name? Or
well, tonight is Allison Crawford.
Okay.
Stacy could be next.
Yeah, that's cool. It's kind of like, it could be, it's like you see someone play in the NBA, you sit from afar, you watch them, you go to the basketball court, you practice. Tonight, she has made it to the NBA,
That's
your
right.
show.
What he just said is that I am the equivalent of an NBA superstar. No, I'm kidding.
Tonight at 7:30, right here on Fox Local. That just about does it for us, guys. I want to say thanks to my producer, Emmy. It was a busy day, Chris. A lot going on. Vice President J.D. Vance at Union Station, thanking National Guard members, the MPD, Mayor Bowser speaking as well. I know you're going to have a recap of that later tonight at 9 o'clock right here on Fox Local, which brings me to this. You see that right there on your TV screen? Yeah, that's the QR code yet again. Click on that. That way you can take us with you any and everywhere you go. Don't forget about the YouTube page, the Fox YouTube page at that, so you can be up to date. We do it in each and every Monday through Friday beginning at 12 noon. The Take coming up next right here on Fox 5.